Nice. Wow. For the first time, we went live first on Facebook.
I know.
That's a first.
Let's do the thing.
Yeah. How y'all doing? Hopefully all is on the up and up.
Yes.
This morning it's 7:30, 1 hour past our start time.
Goodness. Apologies for that.
We went to open mic last night. It was really great. So we're starting an hour late today. I got to perform 2.5 times. Tensi got to perform. It's really, really fun experience going to an open mic, especially an open mic that's open to all types of performing art. So whether you have just things to say that are like speechy and preachy, and you want to share your passions, whether you have some comedy that you want to share, whether you have some poetry, whether you have some raps or songs, whether you have a song with some music in the background.
It's refreshing.
Open mic, it just, you can come and share your art and shine on the community however you best see fit.
Yeah, and it was a family friendly, well, I'll say, I'm not gonna necessarily say it was a family friendly.
They loved Omi.
But they loved Omi because, if everyone brings their kids, then I don't know, some people get all weird about it. But we brought Omi, our daughter, and it was great. So, by the way, if you're interested, one of our friends runs it. It's called Spoken Visions. If you're in Austin, it's every third Thursday on the east side, and at Studio 2324 Studios.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So, yeah, we've got a comment on YouTube. Grand Rising.
Hey, Grand Rising King.
Good day. Good day, love.
Good. So, today we are on episode 60 of the Holistic Freedom Secrets podcast.
That's exciting.
It is super exciting. Today we're talking about an aspect of shine that gets overlooked even sometimes in community circles or community-based topic givers, if you will, podcast episodes and things of this nature. And it is called Shine on Me, and it's about being vulnerable and asking for help when you need it. This is something that is lost on our current American, society a lot of times because of the culture of hustle, just
and I can do
money will solve everything. Yeah. The culture of money will solve everything leads to the idea that I can do everything myself, which includes like I can just buy the services of a company to come and do a lot of things for me if I have enough money. And of course, that's, it's not sustainable, as well as very difficult to maintain over time.
Yeah. And even like in other perspectives and communities, there's the self-sustainability, which is, for the longest time, I would always say I'm seeking to be self-sustainable. And the honest truth is that I don't want to be self-sustainable. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to be an island. I'm not an island. I am a social being, and I need other people as well. We need each other. We're like cells in the body of God, right? The body of the Creator. And every cell, if it was just one, if I was just one muscle cell, you still don't have the muscle. Like you gotta connect. We have to connect because at the core of our being, to deny that part of ourselves that seeks collaboration, that's also denying the truth that we are literally all connected. We're all connected energetically. We're all connected in our truest state. We are the same one in different expressions, different cells in the body of the Creator. Okay, so that's just a spiritual outlook. You may not have the same one, but I found in my life that is the truth. So it is what it is. So today we're talking about sharing honest, insightful, and nourishing expressions. As we embarked on this journey of holistic freedom?
The most fearful thing about asking for help and being vulnerable is often the rejection of help that you're facing when you ask for it. I remember when someone very close to me was talking to me about how they were sharing with people. Uh, so this was a family member, and me and this family member, we don't like talk every day, but they were sharing with me that they were sharing with their friends, um, that they think they were depressed. I think I'm depressed. I'm, these are the things that I'm experiencing. I never expected to be, but I think I am because of this, set of circumstances that I'm facing right now. Like these things that I can't seem to stop doing, these things that I can't seem to start doing, and how heavy it all is inside. I think I'm feeling depressed, and one after another, one of like specifically one of her friends were very dismissive, right? Depressed. What's that? And
Denial.
girl, you ain't depressed, and just very dismissive, right? And so there's a legitimate scariness and fear around being vulnerable and asking for help, because a lot of times we don't have people around us that will respond in a compassionate or even competent way, or we don't know where to go, and we don't know who to go to, where to go, and we, in not knowing where to go, feel like there is nowhere to go, right? And feeling like there's nowhere to go is definitely a very emotionally charged space to be in, and takes an incredibly strong mind to break through, or to remain centered in a space where you don't know where to go, you don't know who to talk to, you don't know how to change the situation, and you definitely don't want to be vulnerable again to the wrong person.
I think it starts with knowledge, and then it kind of evolves into, in terms of solutions, at least.
Coach Tensi says, in case like this phone doesn't hear, I think it starts with knowledge. And what else?
Yeah, that I think it starts with knowledge, at least. If you don't know, if you don't know how to come about the whole for you, if you don't know any like tried and true proven methods, then it's hard to kind of be in this pool of confusion and expect to still find peace and liberate yourself from those really low emotions, low frequency emotions that altogether we call depression.
Right. And
Emotions and habits, rather.
And in our own journeys, we've had to learn how to reach out and ask for help. Obviously, especially when it comes to the family aspect. So, raising our daughter Omi is a bit of a task, and reaching out to people and asking for help. Um, Again, it runs up against a couple walls, right? One, it's kind of scary to ask for help because you might be denied, but also there's a pride that is touched when you open yourself up and be vulnerable in that way. There's a pride that I don't want to ask for help in raising my kid because I don't want to look like a bad parent. All right. And this is, of course, nonsense, right? A good parent would ask for help if they need it. And I don't think there's anybody out there who, would call themselves a friend to somebody who would respond very crass to that parent asking for help, even if they can't give the help. A friend or somebody who cares will try and at least tell you who else to ask if they can't give the help themselves. But regardless, there's this fear that, I don't see any other parents asking for help. So if I ask for help, then I'm going to look like the bad parent or the lazy parent or the not knowledgeable parent or whatever. And just all of these fears and feelings surrounding being vulnerable and asking for help. So what's the other side? What is the power in being vulnerable and asking for help?
The power in being vulnerable and asking for help. I feel like, well, I might be able to display it in a story. Like, I remember when I first had Omi, and in my mind, like, I read all the books and I did my best to prepare, and I had all the checklists, and I got the family and the team ready and on the same page with like the postpartum care routine. But part of me wasn't still not prepared, because part of you is not prepared. No matter, you can't be prepared for everything. Okay, so I wasn't completely prepared in the sense of how I would still feel the gap between where I was, like how I used to be able to move, like to be able to just get up out of bed and get into fitness and whatnot, and being restricted to my bed for a long while, because I literally, if I didn't want to bleed out, I needed to stay put, and maybe just get up to be guided to the restroom and back. So this was a reckoning, a moment of reckoning, because I had this vision in my mind of how my postpartum healing experience would be, and that was more generalized, in the sense of I knew I would need to rest, but I didn't acknowledge the emotional and spiritual feelings that I would have fully in my preparation. So they all came up, and it took a lot for me to get up out of my my own feeling like, oh, I don't want to be a burden, is often the story that I tell, and oftentimes my clients have a similar story of not wanting to be a burden.
Like, I don't want to tell you what I'm going through and then put some of my weight on your shoulders when trying to ask for help.
Yes, and especially when I already know that your shoulders got a lot of weights on them, honey, that you're trying to balance as well. So I in order to not just survive and be miserable through my healing experience, I knew I needed to reach out and actually tell people what was going on, not keep it in my head, not keep it in my heart, but let those so-called secrets be known. And when I reached out the first time, it was so cringy. Like, it almost hurt to reach out, because part of me had this vision of perfection of what it would look like when I reached out, and how there's this whole narrative that comes with it of, hey, if they don't get it, if all of this stuff happens, what will, how will they react? Will the facial expression throw me off? Will the Homie,
You change your mind?
you don't want to go over there no more. You just tired still and don't know what you did. Okay. So The first times are always the hardest because and I experienced that myself of whenever I needed help, just really wrestling with myself in my mind with anxiety and knowing I needed emotional support. Like, I need you to brew these teas so that I can help with the anxiety that I'm experiencing and all of this going on. And every time that I asked for help, I would meet up against this resistance again and again and again. And every time that I met up against the resistance, I had to keep coming back and anchoring into, why am I asking for help? I'm asking for help so that I can show up for Omi and for our relationship the best that I can, and for myself the best that I can. And right now, since I can't show up for myself in this specific way, I need to outsource it.
Right.
That's
right.
what the highest, most evolved version of me would do.
And I want to add to that a little bit, because sometimes you don't know what help you need. You just know that you need help.
Yeah.
Sometimes you feel like, you might listen to a story like that and go, okay, well, you needed help with, teas, or let's say helping
Meal
move,
prep
or helping meals and stuff like that. And that's kind of easy to know what you need help with. But with things that are, let's say, maybe more emotional, where your routine is already set, but you need more emotional, mental health support, if you will, um, you might not know what you're asking for.
Mhm.
You might need some company, and you don't know, you don't have the word for it. You don't have the insight into, you just need some company for, a few days, or a companion to get you through the next couple weeks that you can just kind of talk to and talk through. And sometimes you may need somebody to come and talk for you, right? To come and just, like, one time or whatever, come and tell somebody something for you.
Yeah, to help advocate for you in that moment.
Advocate, help you figure something out. And the power in going ahead and asking for the help, even when you don't know, is oftentimes you'll find that there's a grace that comes when you follow your heart. So the heart says, for a long, long time, and you're not listening, you need help. You can't do this on your own.
Yeah,
And
you don't have to.
And you don't have to do this on your own. And it feels, super inconvenient and scary and um, unnatural, you could say,
Yeah.
to ask for help when you don't know what you're asking them to do. You just know you need some help because there's too many things, you're a little overwhelmed or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
When you ask for help and someone or a group of people respond to the call, oftentimes they will take a bird's eye view look of what's going on and start assigning themselves jobs to help you out. And then you all will start to figure it out from there. But it all starts with getting over the hump of being vulnerable and shining on yourself by way of reaching out to the community, reaching out to your online community, reaching out to your friends and family, and asking for the help that you need.
Yeah, and something that helped me exceedingly is building up my knowledge base around why I need to ask for help and how to do it. So, learning more about healthy communication, learning more about the psychology of collaborating with other people, or the reasoning behind how it helps our hormonal health is something that I got into. But no matter what angle you take it from, whether it's from like a podcast that you listen to that is like this life coach, or this person that speaks on these sort of topics that you can lean on, or if it's a research study that you look up around that, really starting to expand your knowledge base helps a whole lot, so that you have vocabulary that you can pull from. You have ways that strategies that you can utilize to help bring clarity to, hey, this is what I need. Even journaling is exceedingly helpful for getting some clarity as to what you need help with. And like in a previous episode last week, or I don't know if it was D-Day this week, it we touched on that answer-seeking journaling. So answer-seeking meditation through journaling, where you ask questions and you reflect on them as you're writing, and you ask and reflect on basically what your highest, most developed, most wise self would say,
Need in this
would
moment.
do, how they would respond in this moment, and that can help guide the way as well.
Yeah. So hopefully this episode was super duper great and inspiring for you. Thank you for chilling out with us for episode 60 of the Holistic Freedom Secrets podcast. Please make sure that you follow the page, follow the channel, subscribe to the channel, like the videos, comment your stories, comment your strategies for these issues that we all face, as well as these triumphs that we all are afforded opportunity to experience. And we will see you on Monday for the next episode of B-Day, episode 61.
Yeah.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you. And if before we go, if you're interested in connecting with us, then don't hesitate to tap the link in our bio or the description. We can connect there with a free consultation call. Right on. So we'll see you next time. Okay, get this one too.